What's up, people? It's your girl Adiola.
Wait, calm down. Might be my only words on record before they kill me.
Yes.
This is an attempt to assassinate me.
Yes. Because
they came with the guns and they were trying to shoot, and they dragged me down in front of a judge after I had been granted bail.
As you guys must have heard, the DSS released Sowore on Thursday evening, and we were all celebrating his release. We were all jubilating. But when he showed up in court the next day as scheduled, the same DSS operatives stormed a court that was in session, and they tried to arrest Sowore again right inside the court. People rallied around Sowore, yet one of the DSS members was seen pinning him down in the court.
Operatives of the Department of State Services on Friday morning disrupted the ongoing trial of the convener Revolution Now protest, Omoyele Sowore, attempting to rearrest him. However, at the time of the attempt to rearrest him, police, journalists, and others present in the court threw themselves on Sowore, thereby preventing the heavily armed security personnel from picking him up.
Eyewitnesses said that the DSS came with weapons.
As at the time of filing this report, there is an ongoing standoff in the court premises as the Department of State Services are refusing to allow Sowore and his lawyers come out of the place.
They insisted on arresting Sowore, so his lawyer Femi Falana said Sowore should get in his car. Still, they didn't allow them to go.
Please. Enough is enough. Please. They're saying that one armed man is coming. No, we'll take that. Please. We'll take that.
So his lawyer said that he would drive Sowore to their office, since they said that they just wanted to ask Sowore 1 or 2 questions. But upon getting there, they detained him again.
And asked Sowore to jump into my car, and so we drove to the office of the State Security Service, because they say he would just answer 1 or 2 questions, but now he's already been detained.
What is going on? Like, really, this has never happened in Nigeria. For a court hearing to be going on and the DSS will storm the proceeding to make a forceful arrest on someone that was released by the court.
That was extremely embarrassing, but it has never happened in Nigeria where you enter a court to arrest anybody, even an alleged coup plotter.
There's no way that the DSS will do this on their own. There must have been an order from above to rearrest Sowore. Buhari knows about this, Osinbajo knows about this, and with the way that the DSS conducted themselves, they were not even trying to arrest. It was like they were trying to kill. This is happening in a country where the vice president is a lawyer, a senior advocate, and a professor of law. This is not just about Sowore, by the way. This is a blatant disregard for the rule of law in Nigeria. Buhari has turned all the Nigerian judges to figureheads, using the DSS as his thugs. If a judge says release someone and the DSS would arrest the person right in front of the judge, that means that DSS is now above the law. And Buhari, who probably gave them the order, has placed himself above the law and above the constitution.
I swore by the holy book I give you that I will go by the constitution.
You swore to go by the constitution, but you have no regards for the rule of law. So the DSS has now become the judge and the jury. I mean, what is left? Which other court would they take Sowore to, since they refuse to obey the court's ruling? If they don't respect this court, which other court would they respect? Even in a fascist country, they would at least wait for the person to leave the court premises before they arresting them. I always wonder what goes on in the minds of all these DSS officials, by the way, who are quick to harass people because of an order from above. I'm like, what is wrong with you? What if Buhari says release the man tomorrow and then Sowore becomes a free man? But these DSS guys just made enemies for themselves in a bid to please an organ that doesn't even care about them. If Buhari is telling you to disobey court orders, why not resign and save your dignity? And not just Buhari, we know about the cabal as well, such as the Bagana Kingibe, who is allegedly the one controlling the DSS from behind the scenes. All this cabal, don't think we don't know what is happening. The ridiculous thing now is the DSS denying that they were the ones that invaded the court to rearrest Sowore. As a matter of fact, now they are saying that it's Sowore's own people that seized him. The This is unbelievable. I mean, if truly they are not the ones, I wonder why he had to take them 24 hours to come up with this story. Like, seriously, if it's not them, why were they silent for 24 hours? And if it's not them, who were those people? Their uniform said DSS, for God's sake. And this story is being reported around the world. Reuters is reporting it, CNN is reporting it. An American senator condemned it.
The Nigerian court had twice ordered his release on bail, and the state security agencies openly defied the court order each time, leading me to conclude either that Nigeria no longer respects the rule of law, or President Buhari is woefully out of touch with what agents of his government are doing in his name. This is unacceptable. The United States is watching, and the world is watching.
They know what's happening. Mr. President, just so you know, Nigerians have had it with you. Even his daughter, Zara, came out to support the proposed social media bill. This is a bill that wants to fine people or sentence them to prison for 3 years or both if they say something that the government doesn't like. This same bill wants to allow law enforcement agencies to order internet service providers to shut down the internet. This bill is very similar to the hate speech bill that wants to be sentencing people to death. I'm like, Auntie Zara, you know, Duel, are you alright? Is everything okay? Like, for you, do you know what we are talking about here? My dear, in case you're watching, you want your father's government to jail people for expressing themselves because you were bullied on the internet? She said so long as it's done in a fair manner. I'm like, girl, how do you sentence people to jail for 3 years in a fair manner? Simply because they spoke their mind. What about others who are bullied on the internet and their own fathers are not president? Why is it that the whole family is not thinking straight? I thought that she comes to the US a lot, enjoying freedom of expression. It's not by force for your father or anybody in your family to be president. Benny or Gabuari, you know, it is not by fire by force for you to be president. Since you're no longer representing the interests of the people who put you in power, do us all a favor and step down. Very easy. It is very easy. Mr. President, if you want the best for Nigeria, as you always claim, step down from office. We don't need another dictator, and that is what you have become. And as for the vice president, Duel Mayoga, please know that posterity will remember you for being silent at a time like this. Why are you just there like a figurehead? Why are you a lawyer? Why are you a senior advocate? Why are you a professor of law? I like to end this with the words of Martin Luther King Jr. that in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends, or those who call themselves friends. You guys now don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Gabon, this past Thursday, Mr. President named his son, Narudin Bongo, as the coordinator of presidential affairs of Gabon. I'm like, what does that mean? Now, according to BBC, his role includes assisting the president in the conduct of all affairs of the state. I'm like, why not say it as it is? You are handing over to your son. You are putting your son in charge. Basically, this is ridiculous. His own father, Omar Bongo, was the president from 1967 to 2009 when he died. 42 years. And then he took over when his father died in 2009. And he's been president now for 10 years. Last year, he suffered a stroke which left him half paralyzed. Remember, I showed you guys a video of his first appearance after 10 months of receiving treatment abroad. Well, so he disappeared again after that for more treatment abroad. So when he went back for more treatment, people started saying that he's dead. So of course, when he came back, he had to put up a show so that the country would know that he's still alive. He made another public appearance, and some people actually thought that this was the launching of his third term campaign, but this was just to announce that he's still alive. But now he has named his son the coordinator of presidential affairs. Technically, the son has become the president. Like, for real, that's what it is. He already put it on his Twitter page. You know, it baffles me when I see children of corrupt politicians like this who study abroad where they practice democracy, where they enjoy democracy, yet some of them will choose to associate themselves with the dictatorship that their parents are known for. It's been 52 years under one family, 52 years under your family alone, and you want to continue with that legacy? You know, African presidents are not afraid of the people. Sometimes it's because the citizens are not united in fighting for their rights, but mainly it's because the citizens don't even know the power that they have. Let me know what you guys think about this man who now puts his son in charge. You guys now don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Kenya, a huge shout out to the police for sending a helicopter to rescue a fisherman who was stranded by floods for more than 2 days at 14 Falls in River Athi as the water levels kept rising.
Police officers finally rescued a fisherman who had been stranded on River Athi for more than 2 days.
Encircled by a stormy torrent, Vincent Musila held on to hope that the storm raging around him would pass. For 2 nights, he had been marooned on the Athi River at the 14 Falls. He was finally rescued.
His name is Vincent Musila, and he was stranded after it had been raining heavily and he couldn't wade in the water. I mean, when I saw the video of the force of the water, I was also scared. I'm like, oh my goodness. Now, the people sent distress calls about him to the police, and a chopper was deployed to his rescue. This is amazing that they will send a helicopter because of a fisherman. That tells you how much they cherish the lives of their citizens. Like, we need more of that in other African countries. Let me not name any country, but I'm just saying, for policemen to decide to send a helicopter because of one fisherman, that says a lot. Thank you so much, Kenya. I made a video as well about how they rescued people during a terrorist attack in Kenya. It's like the police force in Kenya, they are really trying, and the military in Kenya, honestly, they are really trying for their citizens. Thank you so much for that. Still on Kenya, the governor of Nairobi, that is Mike Sonko, who is sometimes referred to as Bling Bling Governor because of his love for gold, jewelry, and his choice of clothing.
Party after party, after party, after party. Party after party, after party, after party.
The man has been arrested for allegedly being involved in a multi-million-dollar corruption scandal. He was accused of awarding contracts to his close friends, forging documents, and misappropriating funds.
He's known for chunky gold jewelry and impromptu bursts of rapping. But on Friday, Kenyan police arrested Nairobi's flamboyant county governor on corruption charges. It's a high-profile move in the government's much-publicized anti-graft campaign.
The 44-year-old governor has previously faced allegations of drug trafficking and money laundering, which he denied. But not only that, the prison authority recently revealed that he once escaped from prison 20 years ago. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, that's very interesting. Now, another baffling thing is when they started investigating him, this man sought court orders to stop the investigation. I'm like, what? I'm glad that case was dismissed. But you know the funny thing? When the police went to arrest him and the soldiers, the man refused. He refused arrest, and that led to a kung fu fight between him and the police. Oh my God, what just like, that was a governor fighting with police? Like, what the heck? My Kenyan people, this is what you have to deal with. You know, as well. I'm really glad that he didn't back down despite all his shakara. He was arrested. We'll continue to keep you guys posted on this drama. You guys now don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So I cannot end this episode without giving a shout out to a 25-year-old man in Jos Plateau State of Nigeria, Jerry Isaac Malo, who studied in the UK. And one of the skills that he learned in the UK is metal fabrication. Now, fabricators create the components that go into small and large-scale products, from making toys to machines to cars to tanks, anything really. And by the time that he was done with his studies in the UK, he got job offers, but he turned them all down in order to go back to Nigeria to work, starting out with creating products that could help his parents who are farmers.
After my studies in the UK, I had offers to work in the UK automobile industry, but I chose something different. I was born in a family where my both parents were farmers. It pained me when I saw them farm manually. I came up with the idea of making agro machineries. Benny Agro is into design and fabrication of machineries. We have mini tractors that cultivate 2 ridges at a time and hand tillers that do 1 ridge at a time. We have planters such as maize planters, soybeans planters, Irish potato planters, and more.
How amazing amazing is that? You know, people need those products not just in Jos, but all over the country. Rice harvesters, tractors. This guy is a genius.
We have harvesting machines such as rice harvesters, rice threshers, maize threshers. We have machines that aid in the processing, that's adding value to the farm produce, such as rice processing machines.
But he didn't stop there. This guy would meet with farmers to know about the difficulties that they are facing, and he would create a machine that would solve their problems.
We create platforms where we meet farmers and discuss with them. They tell us the problems, their challenges on the farm, and we design machines that suit those problems they have on the farm.
Wow. Now, at the age of 25, Jerry has employed 26 young people.
At the moment, we've created jobs for 26 employees. We have produced machines that have increased productivity in Plateau and beyond.
But I'm sure he's about to employ more people because he recently came out with a sports car.
When I was about 5-7 years old, I realized the burning passion in me to build vehicles in Nigeria. Gone are those days when Nigeria it's all about importing. I've had so many stories when coming up about Chinese people. I hear about small Chinese children making phones and other things like that. It has been a challenge to me to see that we put our knowledge together and make meaningful products out of it. Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby introduce to you Benny Puri.
How amazing, wow. We have so many brilliant minds in Nigeria. It's so unfortunate because a lot of people like him would rather take up jobs in another country where they will be cherished, where they will be encouraged, where they will be supported, where they would have investors. Huge shout out to the government of Plateau for supporting him because he says that they support him, but this man needs more investors. This can become huge. Also, may I just say that the reason Jerry is able to do all these things is because of the quality of the education that he received abroad. And I'm not saying that students in Nigeria are not doing things. We are seeing them doing so many things, inventing so many things, but we desperately need to revamp our education in Nigeria so we can produce more people like Jerry, and we need to support others in Nigeria that are inventing things. You can find him on his social media pages. You can find him on Twitter, you can find him on Instagram, you can find him on Facebook if you would like to contact him. Once again, we're so proud of him. Thank you so much, Jerry. You guys not know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. If you live in Italy, Spain, and Ireland, don't forget that SendWave is now available for you to download on your cell phones in order to send money to Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda without paying a dime, without paying any transaction fees. Yes, this thing is free. Also, you might want to use my promo code Adeola to get $10 or £10 added to the money that you're sending to your loved ones before December 10th. I'm saying that because after December 10th, the bonus cash will go back to $5. And if you just enter the promo code without sending anything, you don't get the £10 or the $10. You need to send something between now and December 10th. Now, this also applies to those that are living in the US and the UK. If this is your first time of downloading SendWave on your phone, if you enter my name before your first transaction, you also get $10 or £10 depending on where you live. It's for anybody that downloads SendWave between now and December 10th. So after December 10th, it would go back to $5. Also, a viewer wrote in the comment section of the last episode that they only got $5. So I contacted SendWave about this, and they told me that this person has actually been using their service for more than a year, and they got the promo code that was offered at the time. So they are not sure why this person would write such a comment. If that's you, please contact them so we can iron this out, because nobody else has complained that they're getting $5 when everybody else is getting $10. If you have any complaints whatsoever with the SendWave service, because they try to be excellent, please send an email to this email address and they would answer all your questions. So don't forget to subscribe if you're yet to. Alright, y'all, it's Biro and I'm keeping it right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, I must see you later. Peace out.